You just got a new violin and you can't wait to start playing. But wait a second, how do you actually tune a violin? In this video I will show you very quickly how to tune a violin so you can start playing as soon as possible. First of all, you need to know that the strings of the violin are called E, A, D and G. These are your tuning notes. To tune your violin, you need to make use of a chromatic tuner. You can either buy them in a shop, but I also have a free tuner available on my website violinspiration.com. Go to the link below this video to open the tuner that I will use in this video. It is totally free and you can just easily save it as a bookmark to use as a tuner on your phone or computer. I will start the tuner right now on my phone. If you open the tuner, the first step you need to take is to click Start Tuner and allow your microphone to make use of the tuner. So it means you need microphone access in your browser or on your phone. If you've done so correctly, you will see a needle that tells you which tone you are playing and if you play it too high or too low. You also need to know that there's two ways to tune your violin. You can either use your fine tuners, which are located over here, or the pegs, which are located over here. The pegs only need to be used for tones that are very much out of tune or if you have no option of using the fine tuners. But normally I recommend to use only the fine tuners if you can. Tuning with the fine tuners is a lot easier. It is a little bit like the pegs on the guitar actually. The pegs on the violin are completely different from the pegs of the guitar. The slightest movement will completely change the pitch of the string. So we have to be very careful with using the pegs because strings can easily break or maybe you make them completely out of tune. So let's start with tuning the A. We play the A and have a look at what the tuner says. At the moment we say that the tuner tells us that the A string is a little bit low. To make it a little higher, we have to rotate our fine tuner clockwise. If we want to make it lower, we have to rotate it counterclockwise. So let's rotate our fine tuner a little bit to make it a little higher. Now we can continue to tune the other strings in the same way. First we tune the A string, which is the second string from the right. Then we tune the D string, which is the third string from the right. Then we tune the G string. And in the end we are tuning the E string. Normally you use the fine tuners to tune each string, but sometimes people do not have fine tuners, like on my violin. If you are a beginner, I recommend to buy them. But if you are a little bit more advanced, you can also tune your violin with the pegs. And anyway, you need to learn to tune with the pegs in case the string really is out of tune. So if the string is really loose, like this, and it doesn't even come close to the pitch that you try to create. So let's have a look at what you should do in that case. The first step you need to take if you want to tune with the pegs, and if your violin is very much out of tune, is placing the violin on your lap. In that way you have a stable hold and you can tune the violin with your left hand while plucking the string with your right hand. So let's try that. You pluck the string and look at the tuner. Then you slowly start to move the peg upwards in very small increments. So don't turn it all the way, just very little bit. So don't turn it suddenly 180 degrees. You really have to be very careful with the peg and tune it in very small increments. So let's have a look at that. As you see, I make very small motions until I see that it reaches close to the D. Now if you have fine tuners, you will continue to tune the violin with the fine tuners now. If you do not have fine tuners, you keep continuing this process until the needle points exactly to the middle of the tuner. As you can see, this is rather difficult, so it is a lot easier to actually use the fine tuner if you have one. If your violin string is just a little bit too high, you can also just pull the string a little bit, and that way it gets lower as well. And if you don't have fine tuners, that is a lot easier than using the peg to lower it just a little bit. So this is how you tune the violin. In most cases you only have to use the fine tuners and you can use a chromatic tuner that will tell you exactly which note you need to tune to. In some cases, the string is completely out of tune, and in that case you have to use the peg just like I've shown in the video. If your string is in tune and you are using a peg and it is actually very close to the target pitch, make sure that you always lower the peg first until moving it upwards. The reason for that is that if you overstretch the strings, your string can easily break. And that happens to a lot of my students. If they just start playing, they start tuning with the pegs, they overturn the peg and the string goes into their face. And that can be a pretty painful experience. So please don't do that and make sure to always turn the peg lower first and very slowly move it upwards until it reaches the target pitch. And don't go far over the target pitch to make sure that your string doesn't break. I really hope this video helped you to learn how to tune the violin. And make sure to bookmark my tuner to make sure that you will always find it again and that you can easily tune the violin if you are playing with your computer or with your phone. So now you're ready to start playing the violin. If you're really truly just getting started, I recommend to start with the very easy tutorials on my website. There's a sorting mechanism and make sure to only sort for basic or beginner songs to make sure that you don't choose songs that are way beyond your level and you can start playing easy songs. I also recommend to learn some easy scales. They are also available on my website. If you sort all the video lessons to beginner, you will easily find them. And if you truly want to learn the violin in the most efficient and fun way possible, also consider becoming a member of my online violin academy, Julia's Violin Academy. In my school for adult beginners, I lay out a step-by-step plan to learn the violin with feedback on your videos, so you can send in the videos for review. You can also join daily live sessions on Zoom. And by following the step-by-step program, you will be sure to cover all the basic techniques and all the important techniques you need to learn to play any kind of music, but especially classical music. So if you're interested, head over to juliasviolinacademy.com and request your invite. Anyway, it's time to start practicing. Please give this video a thumbs up if you were able to tune your violin, and also comment below if you made it happen. If you still have any questions about tuning, make sure to post them in the comments. I always try to answer as many comments as possible to help everyone to learn.